Jerry Jones has said he's ready to trade a top pick for more firepower. So today we're ranking 3 realistic edge options that could actually make this defense dangerous. Go ahead and hit that like button if you want Dallas to add another proven pass rusher before the season starts, and let's jump right into it. First up is Josh Sweat. Cardinals edge just dropped 12 sacks last year. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's still playing with just a nasty motor. Arizona's on a full rebuild, and that combination makes him probably the most likely candidate out of these 3 gentlemen. A second-round pick, maybe a day 3 for a sweetener is realistic, and he walks into a rotation with Rashawn Gary, Malachi Lawrence, Donovan Ezeraku, and he's your double-digit sack guy that you just don't have right now, and he's not bad at all at setting the edge and playing the run. So trading a second-round pick and maybe a day 3 pick for a guy that can come in and improve this pass rush immediately and be a potential starter out on the edge, it just makes this entire rotation much more appealing heading into the season versus what this team has right now. And for a front office that wants impact without completely emptying out the future, Sweat is probably the cleanest fit. High floor, real production, and a price that just doesn't feel insane. Next up is Alex Highsmith. And Highsmith is a guy who's been a steady producer in Pittsburgh for years, consistent pressure, good against the run. He's obviously still in his prime. And the Steelers have a lot of money tied up on defense. They just paid Herbig, obviously TJ Watt, big money guy, and Highsmith is sitting behind them both on the depth chart. He's a good pass rusher, a great rotational guy to add into this Cowboys rotation, and he's not going to cost you as much as, say, a Josh Sweat or the third guy on this list that we'll get to in a second. Probably somewhere between a second and a third round pick and maybe a day 3 sweetener. And so I think he's probably the safest guy out of these 3 if Dallas wants the production without necessarily swinging for the fences. And then there's the guy that everybody's talking about. We're reawakening now. We thought this was in the past, but here we are again. Maxx Crosby. And Jerry Jones basically confirmed in so many words that they still like the name Maxx Crosby. He had to put a kibosh on that just a little bit during the press conference for tampering purposes, but it doesn't sound like they're necessarily out or ever were out on Maxx Crosby. And let's be clear, this is the home run swing here. Crosby's an elite, high motor, tone setting edge that would instantly become definitely the best player on the defensive line. But the problem is simple, right? The Raiders haven't shown they're ready to move him unless a team is willing to give them a ton of draft capital. And the price is going to be steep, guys. It's likely a first-round pick and more. Now, Jerry said they didn't walk away, and that tells you the interest is still real, but interest in actually getting the deal done are 2 different things. If the Raiders dig in, this one just is going to stay a rumor. If they blink and they acquiesce maybe just a little bit to the demands of the Cowboys or the requests of the Cowboys, it changes the entire defense overnight with this trade. This is a big deal. There are some concerns that I am worried about. Obviously, age, knee injury. Now, this is basically mortgaging your future. They already have one of their first-round draft picks promised to the Jets. They can put some conditions in place to make that second first-round pick tradable, and that's what they would do for Crosby. But let's be very clear, this is a mortgage your future type move, and so in order for Dallas to make this move, they would have to truly believe the floor of this defense has gotten to a point where it's completely acceptable, can stand on its own, and this Maxx Crosby trade would be a trade that would put them over the top and not necessarily just make them an okay defense. This would be, you're going to be potentially an elite defense. You're shooting for elite defense this year, and you can shoot for that all you want, but a move like this would tell you they think they're already within that range. So to recap the 3, Sweat gives you the best mix of impact and realistic cost. Highsmith is the steady veteran that doesn't cost you a whole bunch. Not really a super exciting move, but don't get it twisted. He does make this defensive line better immediately. And then Crosby is the dream we've all been living and talking about for the last 3, 4, 5 months. So let me know which one you'd rather see in a Cowboys uniform week 1. Drop your ranking, your predictions, your preferred trade packages, all that in the comments. And if you made it this far, please smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not already in the coalition. Turn on those notifications. We'll be covering every move that drops out of Oxnard. I'm personally heading there on this Sunday. I'll be there for a few days, sending out reports, videos, all that cool stuff, so keep your eyes out. Cowboys Nation, let's just go get this pass rush right, yeah? Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you later.
Cowboys!